Welcome, everyone. My name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. This is my third attempt at a live stream in the last 10 minutes. First live stream, I spilled my hot coffee, burned myself. Second stream, my phone started ringing, which at this hour of the morning. The only people that call typically at this hour of the morning, someone's died or gotten arrested. Dark MAGA mode engaged, of course. But it was neither of those. So we're back. All right, so, you know, I got a lot to share on the show today at 6. Including a special message from Dan Bongino, which I'm not going to share now because I want to go through it in detail on the air. And it's not short, and it's a good one. But you know, everything that's going on with these tariff negotiations, this is what it's like. I mean, Trump's playing hardball. You know, these countries have just been ripping us off forever. Everybody knows this. And he's just equalizing everything. That's all. What Trump's doing with the tariffs is so reasonable. It's not even really it should be a debatable issue. Not for Americans. He's playing hardball with China because they're playing hardball with us. You know, China, Nixon and Kissinger really screwed us with China. They really did. And I really don't know what their intentions were with China. I really don't. I mean, I like President Nixon and all, but he gets a bad rap, and what they did to him was terrible. But he really screwed us with China. And China has this developing nation status, which is so out of date, because they're not a developing nation. You know, they get all these benefits. Plus, they rip us off on the trade deals. I mean, come on. But the Chinese are going to play hardball more than anyone else. And Trump knows this. And they're very used to getting their way. China's not used to having to negotiate. And they're not up for debate. They don't have debate in their own country, and they don't think they should have to debate anybody else. And they believe they're right. You know, President Trump, he said they're a very proud people. And that's true. But it's a police state over there. And in police states, the government does what the government wants to do, and they don't have to justify it. And they don't feel like justifying their actions with Trump, I guess. But eventually, they'll make a deal with Trump because they have to. All the countries have to. They all know they're ripping us off, but they've been doing it for so long, a lot of these countries don't know another way. You know, and China owns so many American politicians. We've been a client state of theirs. So they're not accustomed to being told by the United States much of anything because China has spent so much money buying off our politicians. They just expect the United States to do what it is they want them to do. And that's the way it's been working for a while. But China is dangerous. They are very dangerous. You know, and they keep presenting them as the second largest economy, as if they're our equal. They may be the second largest economy, but we are the number one economy by so far. It's not even comparable. It's not a close second. And so much of what China looks like economically is smoke and mirrors anyway. But these things have to be done. It's a total end of globalism. I mean, that's it. I mean, what Trump's doing is a complete end of globalism as we know it. Extortion? No, some of them are probably extortion. Some of them are being bought off. I mean, look at all the money that the Bidens got from China. No, some of them are bought off, like Mitch McConnell. Some of it's extortion. It's a mix of everything. They probably try to buy you first, and if you don't go for the buy, they blackmail you. Ugh. That's how they operate. But you never have to worry with Trump in charge. Trump and his team, they know exactly what they're doing. Very, very smart people. I'm getting used to this. I don't know if I'm getting used to it, but yesterday I had a doctor's appointment, and it was the first doctor's appointment I've had really in years where my blood pressure wasn't high. And my blood pressure is always high because I have so much caffeine. You know, I was drinking eight, actually sometimes 10 shots of espresso every morning. By the end of the show, I would have had 8 to 10 shots of espresso. And I've really weaned off of that. I've got my first coffee here now that I've had a few sips out of. And every time I go to the doctor, they of course they take your blood pressure. They tell me it's high, and I got to have this conversation about all the coffee I have, and then they warn me about the coffee. This time they didn't even say anything about my blood pressure. It was normal, which is the first time at a doctor's appointment in, I can't remember. But my body feels different in the morning because I'm not on the verge of a heart attack. I had a big realization last week on the cruise. Big realization, and I should have known this before the cruise because people have been telling me the amount of caffeine that I have been drinking was going to give me a heart attack. It was just going to give me a heart attack. And this week, it's Wednesday, I haven't had one full cup of my coffee all week that I would normally drink 2 of. So that's a good thing. But a heart attack most definitely was I could tell the way I feel now. Like this morning, I'm not so wired, you know, because before I was so wired in the mornings because I was so over-caffeinated. And the way that my body feels is just different. And I think it's because my blood pressure is normal. My blood pressure would normally be through the roof right now. Because I would be, right now, normally, before the trip, I would have already had 5 shots of espresso, 4 or 5 shots. of espresso before the show even began. And now I really haven't had any coffee. So I used last week, when I didn't have to do a show in the morning, to wean myself off the coffee a little bit. So I got through the brain fog and the headache withdrawals last week. But right now it's just a little strange feeling in the morning. I guess it's feeling normal. I'm used to feeling like my heart's going to burst. But today's the first day I can say that I'm starting to feel normal weaning off the coffee. I know it sounds trivial to a lot of people, but you know. Welcome, everyone. All right, well, I just got to the radio station, so if you're new, make sure you subscribe. It's where MAGA comes to talk. I'll see you live on the air in about 30 minutes. Take care.